Welcome back to the channel. Something special today. It's Brethren of the Coasts. This is a metal can game, which per self is something very rare to find. And I'm gonna be very honest here. I got this game as a bonus on a purchase I did on an Italian store. This is like the Italian editor, I don't know, and came as a gift for a big order. And I've kept sealed until today because I don't know if this is like a real serious game or just a joke game. The box itself, the artwork, it doesn't look very serious. But I've seen that the Dice Tower has a video how to play that. So, and this is from 2015, so it has a bit of time on itself. But I think that today is gonna be the day that we'll figure it out what's inside this game and how it goes. So let's go and see what it is. It gives me the Monkey Island vibes because of this pirate and Gilbert there as well. The plastic around the box is very different from normal plastic. If you can feel it, it's a much thicker, much not standard plastic. But I want to read what it says here. So you can play with 6 players, different colors there. In the end of the 17th century, and the buccaneers of the Caribbean worked together with the blessing of the colonial powers to attack Spanish shipping and territories. Each player is captain of a fleet and must band together with the other buccaneers to share Spanish gold. Okay. Port Royal, that's another one. I don't know where my Port Royal copy is, but I need to also to bring it. Okay. What is this? Arg. Oh, there's some errata. Errata there. The errata comes in a pack. So it was added later. Let's see what this errata thing is. And why 3 cards? Maybe there are some cards that also need to be changed. Oh, come on, the plastic here is also very thick. And I don't want to damage. See, that's it. What is this? Okay, so page 2. Right on the manual page, these 4 cards, sorry, far away from camera, these 4 cards must be added to the playing deck and shuffle with the others before randomly removing the 4 secret cards. So maybe they felt like something else was needed. More money, more doubloons. Then we have the English instruction manual. Let's take a look at it. Well, it looks very nice. I've seen worse. Player setup. You set up around the central card. The explanation of the cards. It's gonna be a simple game. That's it. Okay, then we need to punch out, but the game automatically punch itself out already. That's it. The doubloons, some of the doubloons already left the building. Okay. These are the doubloons. Okay, got them. Come on. Then, oh, more doubloons here. I think there's lots of empty space below, on the deck below. These are the ships for the big player, the players. There's the big ships and the small ships. I don't know the difference yet. And there's the deck of cards. And what else? What else is just empty space, right? Yeah. So this box could be twice less in size, but in these things, eyes also take a meal, or they also eat from the shelves. Okay, now I'm trying to get that strip there, but it's giving me a fight. But that's it, I won. And these are the cards. That's going to be the central cards. 3 players. What is this? 3, 4. How do you read this? For 3 players, it's 3 guns, 3 cannons, and 9 treasures. And 4 players, 5 players, and how do you read that? 5, the number of heads, right? Because I was seeing like number of dots, and then these will be a body and a head. So two bodies. 3 and 2, and here was 5 players and then 3 players, 3 bodies. So bad design, bad design. Okay, how to look at this? Okay, so these will be the ships to attack. We'll see that it's on one side is the ship, on the other side is the port, and the cards to be used. They have these bags. Also more ships. Yeah, for 6 players you need more ships. Then you get muskets, some with flags, cannons with flags and birds, treasure cards. The cards are texturized. You can see that there on the reflection of the light. Lots of treasures. Then there are the doubloons. These are the marked doubloons, so these will go to certain players according to the position. See that? One doubloon, and 2 doubloons, 3 doubloons, and 4 doubloons, and that's it. Yeah, so let's figure it out how this game is played. Depending on the number of players, players start with a specific amount of doubloons already to be used, and they start with all their ships together. There are 2 types of ships. There is the big ones and the small ones. So the big ones, they are called the galleons, and they are considered to have 3 sails, because sails will be the power of the ships, how many sails they have. And these smaller ones, they are called schooners, and they have 2 sails. Okay, so that's the power of the ships. Then on your turn, you choose. No, you can do 3 things. You can play one ship, one of the ships. You can play a card from your hands, or you draw a card from the pile, which I'm going to put it here just to complete the setup right there. Okay, so imagining that you want to start by playing a ship. You decide which of the ships you want to play, you can only play one, and then you decide which of the Spanish galleons you are attacking. So imagine that I want to attack this one. I would place one of them in any of these areas like this, for example. And later on, this ship cannot be moved to a different galleon. It stays there. And if I want to play another ship here, at the same level, or a strong one or a weaker one, I need to place them in the same zone, 1 to 3, that I've placed any of the ships before, because they will be together. And this means that, for example, if this was like this, on first place, the yellow player was with a stronger ship, and I play this one, then you need to rearrange, and you need to become the new number 1, and this goes to number 2, and red would be number 3, because we really need to understand who is like in the first position winning, second position, or third position, okay? Because this will matter for the zones and the places that you see here. Then another thing that you can do is to play a card. So the cards here, you need to understand what you're playing and not play blindly. You can play cards faced up, visible for all the players on each ship, but you can also play a card face down. If you want to do that, you need to pay one of your doubloons here to Port Royal, which is this card here, and that's relevant for the end of the game. So here I could put these doubloons face up, and everyone knows that whoever wins this will get these doubloons, but they need to be on the first position, or there's going to be a treasure card, which is important for untying, or could be a cannon, or could be a musket, or all of these, or any of these could be face down, and you don't know what's coming out, okay? So that's really important. And the symbols that we've seen before, like the flags, the skulls, and the parrot, that don't matter. It's just because if you're playing with less than 6, 4, 5 players, you can easily spot which cards you need to remove by just finding the parrots, the skulls, or the white flags, and remove all of those, and then the deck is ready for playing with less players. Then the fights happen when you are able to, when the players put the 6th card here, regardless if it's face up or face down. Then we need to take a look at the cards and see what happens. Okay, so before giving money to anyone, what needs to happen is treasures. What needs to happen, you need to resolve the fights. What happens if there are cannons in the cards is that the cannon, as mentioned in the manual, it will reduce the strongest fleet to its single smallest ship. So here, in this situation, the strongest fleet would be green, and it will be reduced to its weakest. So that will rearrange the order, and then yellow would become the strongest. Okay, and you need to try to guess if there are cannons already face up or face down. Face up, you know. Face down, you know. You don't know, but you can try to guess, because then if there is a second cannon, second or more than 2 cannons, then it means that the fight, the cannons fight each other, no one lost, and the order remains the same. There is no effect. So more than 1 cannon just nullifies the cannon power. And a similar way with the musket. If there is a single musket, the Spanish attack the weakest fleet, which is the fleet that occupies the lowest occupied position. This fleet loses its single smallest ship, but the ship lost from the fleet is put back into the box, and the other ones as well. So these are, you are really losing these ships. These ships go away, they cannot go back for the game, so they are really getting sunk. Okay, and then if you have 2 or more muskets, it's the same thing. So there's just misfire, and they attack each other, and there's nothing happening. So it's the same strategy. You need to understand if you need to nullify some kind of attack that is targeting you or nothing. Okay, after all these fights are done, then we see who then is entitled to the treasures. These are marked doubloons that need to go to specific, and then this player is the first to choose one of the treasures. Like, could be 4 doubloons, right? Or could be the treasure chest. And they need to split things. After everything has been accounted for, then you turn around and this becomes a port. This becomes you flip it, and it's not a port, it's a Spanish settlement. Okay, and settlements may have any number of cards played on them, and they are only reckoned at the end of the game. Okay, so that's gonna be, we need to attack the ships, and then these are all gonna go into settlements, Spanish settlements, where we will continue to put cards if you're interested into that. And then when all the ships are sunken and all the cards are played, then you go to the final scoring. Okay, which is doing the calculations again. And throughout the game, this Port Royal card, which is worth 4 points plus the money that you put there to play cards face down, this card it will become these treasure cards will be used in the end of the game, because then in the end of the game we'll look at all players and see who has most treasure chests. Whoever has the most treasure chests, that's half of the loot that is here, and who has the player with the second most chests gets the other half. And if there is kind of a tie here on the treasure chest, the manual has lots of criteria how to split this, and you need to read that to see all the differences. Okay, but that's the importance of the treasure chest. The treasure only comes in the end of the game. And then to win the game, you just count the doubloons on all the treasure cards that you've collected, plus the doubloons remaining from those that you received at the start of the game, and the bounty that you've collected from your treasure chests, and the player that has the most doubloons just wins the game. And if there is a tie, the tie player who collected the most treasure chests, these cards, wins. And if there's still a tie, then both players wins. Very simple game. Very simple game. Not sure if it's fun or not. Looks like it. I like the art. I like the ships. I like the fact that the ships go away. So I think there's a bit here of strategy to make this game an interesting game. So I will see that after playing for the first time, but I'm interested in trying it. And I hope you like this video to the point that you consider hitting the like button and subscribing. So I have this big playlist full of board games as well as for all the major card games out there. And if you like podcasts, I have the Table Talks, the podcast where I'm interviewing people while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that you'll find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next video. Goodbye.